Hello and welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Is actually from our Tuesday night legacy, running every day event over our Discord servers. Socrates versus Matt. Thassa's Lash versus Izzet Miracles deck. Blue-red Miracles running Bonfire of the Damned. So far, just making some land drops. Both control style decks kind of willing to make land drops, let the game drag on. Thassa's Lash is going to win with a game-ending combo. Miracle's probably going to be more inclined to grind things out, though I suppose it is possible to one-shot somebody with Bonfire of the Damned. I don't suspect we'll be seeing it go that deep. Oh, you never. Snapcaster. In back, Lightning Bolt, so Bolt to the face and Snapcaster Bolt. Getting a little bit of aggression here. Play at the life total. Socrates already has the fetch land on board. Best combo in the game. Finding cards at the speed of Ancestral Recall. Of course, you don't get the bulk card advantage, but it allows you to actually play a game of Magic, even if you're drawing badly. Make the right choice way out of it. The shuffle effect really imperative with Brainstorm. Around for a very long time prior to fetch lands from original Onslaught. Now, it was possible to play it with the Mirage fetches and Land Grant, which I actually did back in the day prior to actual fetch lands. It was not particularly fair. My win percentages back then were absolutely ridiculous. Guy streak 30 something matches him. Not really possible by just being a stronger player. You've got to be playing with some technology that's significantly stronger than what I wish. Now we've got Thought Lash, and this will put a stop to the beatings. If this resolves, we've got actual vanilla counter spell, Force of Wills flying around, all sorts of counter magic. If this Thought Lash sticks, it will put an end to the beatings. Often just used to immediately exile the entire library, but if you're getting beaten down two at a time, Thought Lash easily takes care of that situation. Really not an inconvenience to be milling a few extra cards a turn. Very little consequence. It's a redundant combo deck. It's not like it's a Tendrils of Agony deck where you risk potentially exiling your one win condition. Got multiple copies of both Thassa's Oracle, Jace Wielder of Mysteries. All of that fighting over a Thought Lash, and a second one comes down anyways. Socrates at 5 life, but realistically it's 5 plus however many cards are in his library. Pretty-ish. Cumulative upkeep each turn as well. This is a lot of time. That reloading on his Force of Will, Stick Sanctuary. Recognizes the danger of the situation. Oh, and it looks like a Shelldock Isle. Card is a really dangerous one in this deck. Hideaway, when it enters the battlefield, you get a kind of an impulse, look at the top 4, put one of the cards underneath the shell dock aisle, pay a blue, tap it, play the card without paying its mana cost. You have 20 or less cards in any library, I think. If a library, not just yours. Pretty much it's just yours, but there are times where your opponent might help you out. Seen all sorts of cards underneath Shell Dock Isle, occasionally an Emrakul. That's a scary prospect. Hull Breacher, which is going to stop Socrates from digging. Interested to see how it plays out with the Hull Breacher. Could be Thassa's Oracle. Jace requires drawing a card, if I remember accurately. Oratory. Got damage prevention. Got some theories on how I can make this less choppy. Right now I'm taking 2 separate screen grabs of the Discord. I think I'm just going to try recording it as is and post-production go grab it. That might actually less choppy. So try that this okay. Zone. It's here. Protect. Bonfire the damn. 6 damage. That is lethal. Prevent it. Really down to the wire. Socrates with just a couple of cards left in his library. One of them going to be a victory condition, either a Jace, Thassa's Oracle. Got a decision to make here. You got to let the Thought Lash go. Now, it looks like he's got some fetch lands on board. That's kind of interesting. Would have imagined it would be worth it to fetch at some point. Oh, look at this line. Look at this line. During his upkeep, he is exiling his entire library. Put in the Jace to use his draw step for turn to lose the game. But Jace makes you win instead. Matt has a force, but Sock has a daze to push it through. What an incredible finish there. Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. I was wondering if it was possible for him to win there with the Jace, given that he wouldn't be able to use Jace's +1 ability to draw a card with that Hull Breacher on board. So it's got to be an instant speed Jace during the upkeep. That is awesome. What a great format. That's just crazy. Good heads-up play by Socrates as well to continue fighting there. The Jace, the Wielder of Mystery, really just need to have no library left during his boss step. That's really interesting. So he was perhaps just waiting for more backup. He ended up having a daze at the end. Could have done that at pretty much any time during the game. Interesting one. Island go here so far. Rainstorm off of the island. And a counterbalance. A problem. This is a pretty unconventional deck, Thassa's Lash. It does have a bunch of traditionally costed spells. Or casting Jace, Thought Lash. 4 is a tough spot on the curve for counterbalance. Both of these decks look very resilient to land hate, showing an abundance of basic lands. Izzet Miracle's very much a brew that has been fun. Expect to see tons of other lists like it out there. Bit of an original. Thassa's Lash. I'm actually not sure how many lists are out there. I've seen a lot of it. Socrates certainly has played it pretty much since Thassa's Oracle's printing and playing around with the card. Myself, when that card was printed, I jumped on Cephalid Breakfast again, having had success with it in the past, despite a mountain of garbage cards. Thassa's Oracle just obsoleting need to play all of that garbage. I'm talking about things like Ancient Glory's Rise, along with a couple of humans, or the Mimeoplasm with some other combo pieces. It took the 3 trash cards and replaced it with 1 castable card, which was just amazing. Just so impressive. Of course, you can still red return it, but casting Thassa's Oracle is not a big ask at only 2 mana. And Matt bringing some violence here. He's got a Hull Breacher and a Brazen Borrower actually turning sideways. That's a legit clock. Talking 2, maybe 3 turns. And we got a Thought Lash. That would certainly slow the effect, but 6 at a time, that's substantial. You will actually get through your opponent's deck at that speed. Does certainly buy a couple of turns, though. And vanilla counterspell on this Thought Lash. It goes to the bin. And we have a paradigm shift. This is dangerous. During the end step, casting a paradigm shift, that's going to leave just 2 cards in Socrates' library. That fetch land. Thought Lash. Gotta have it already in hand. See what it is. Plays the fetch. Can't fetch anything out with it, though. Here's the Thassa's Oracle. If Matt has a piece of removal, right now Devotion is 2, but he could make it Devotion 0. Force the next game. Kind of, no matter what, if he has Lightning Bolt, Socrates is dead. Either he's dead to the combat damage, and it looks like Counterbalance actually snags the Thassa's Oracle, and I think that's going to do it in all likelihood. 3 damage puts Sock down to just 2. Snapcaster Mage as well. That's a wrap. Oh, Force of Will? Force of Negation? Force of Will back? I spoke too soon. Socrates down to 1. Another Thassa's Oracle. And there's Brazen Borrower on top. That's not what you want to see. Oh, he's got the vanilla counterspell, though. Sock all out of answers there. A flurry of counter magic to keep him in the game. Certainly looked like a possibility there, but Matt ekes out that second game, and we're on to the third. Paradigm shift card that set that all up. Having a lot of success with that. When I do get to play Cephalid Breakfast, just an absolute haymaker of a card. Paradigm Shift and Thassa's Oracle. Quite an impressive win condition. The fact that it's equal to instead of greater than just makes it that much harder to react to. It would still be totally fine if it was something that you could lightning bolt and effectively interact with. Like, we'd still be trying it. Wouldn't be as strong. Card is pushed. Got a beautiful low pedal there for Socrates. Into a paradigm shift early. Yikes. This is an early paradigm shift. Got a couple of 2-mana sorceries. Expressive Iteration for Matt. A little bit of an incremental advantage. Contrast that with Paradigm Shift, just moving absolutely all in here. Super early. They're going to take a moment and discuss how many counter spells are in exile. Something you can more easily do in paper. Doesn't likely make that much of a difference for Matt. He has to hold the fort here. Lotus Petal. Oh, I guess the Lotus Petal next turn is key. It's going to be the second blue for the Thassa's Oracle. Got a Narset. Not really going to matter too much here. Socrates not planning on drawing any extra cards. He just has one left in his library. Digging the key line here, and we've got the Thassa's Oracle coming down. Not have any type of answers. Let's see what he's got. Force of Will. We have a Force of Will back. Another Force of Will. And that's going to do it. Double Force holds down the fort, and Matt stops a lethal Thassa's Oracle from entering the battlefield. Wins one on our Tuesday night webcam legacy. Remember, you can be a part of this every Tuesday on our Discord. Info is in the description.